This is breaking news from NBC Montana.
Breaking news as we come on the air live at 5. A suspect is still at large after a mass shooting at a bar that leaves 4 dead in Anaconda. Law enforcement have the entire city in lockdown. Our NBC Montana's Josh Margolis is out there live at the scene right now. Josh, what are you seeing?
Thank you, Kylie. So basically, here's what we know at the moment. There was a mass shooting just behind me in the corner of 3rd and Washington at the Owl Bar at about 10:30 a.m. this morning. 4 people have been killed. The scene has since been secured. We know the suspect is 45-year-old Michael Brown. He's 5'10", 170 pounds with blue eyes and brown hair, driving a stolen Ford F-150 with Montana plates, plate numbers DTY 493. As of the last update from law enforcement, he was seen west of town on Stumptown Road. Everyone should avoid the area. He's considered armed and dangerous. Law enforcement has been everywhere in this area, including the Department of Criminal Investigations, Butte, Anaconda law enforcement, Highway Patrol, and we've also seen a helicopter surveilling the area as well, an unmarked helicopter. Anyone with any information on Michael Brown or that could be relevant to the investigation should be calling Anaconda Deer Lodge County law enforcement. That number is 406-563-5241. We know now for sure, it's been confirmed, his home is next to the bar. It was raided by SWAT, and it has since been cleared. And we've seen messages coming in from Montana's congressional delegation, as well as Governor Greg Gianforte, remarking on this, saying their prayers are with the community of Anaconda, and they're keeping in touch with this situation. As of now, what we know, Michael Brown in a stolen Ford F-150 shot and killed 4 people right behind me here at the Owl Bar before fleeing the scene in a stolen vehicle. He's gone west somewhere near Stumptown Road. Public is asked to avoid that area. And that's basically what we know so far. We will continue to keep you updated. Unclear if there will be a press conference tonight. We are expecting some additional information at some point tonight, but we're going to await official word before and once we have it to you, we'll make sure to bring it to you. So we'll keep you updated. I'll talk to you a little bit later in this broadcast, but right now we know mass shooting here in Anaconda, 4 people killed, suspects still at large. Back to you, Kylie. Josh Margolis, NBC Montana.
Montana delegates addressed the shooting on social media. Governor Greg Gianforte released this statement on X, saying he's closely monitoring the situation involving an active shooter in Anaconda. Please join Susan and me in praying for the victims, their loved ones, and the brave law enforcement officers responding to this tragedy. Senator Steve Daines shared a similar remark, saying, quote, closely monitoring the active shooter situation in Anaconda with local authorities. Senator Tim Sheehy expressed his gratitude for the first responders, saying, quote, we thank law enforcement for their ongoing efforts to protect our communities and pray for the victims, their families, and the entire Anaconda community. U.S. Representative Ryan Zinke discussed the information circulating online, saying, quote, conflicting reports of casualties and location of the shooter. Anyone in Anaconda should stay inside and lock their doors. U.S. Representative Troy Downing said, quote, terrible news out of Anaconda. Praying for those involved and our law enforcement officers in harm's way as they work towards a swift resolution. Mass shootings are rare here in Montana, but they do happen. According to a national study by GVpedia, a gun violence research group, Montana recorded 4 mass shootings from 2013 to 2019. Those incidents left 13 people dead and 6 others injured. The study defines a mass shooting as an incident where 4 or more people are shot or killed. Turn to your screen right now. Blackfeet law enforcement are searching for this missing girl. 15-year-old Aspen Bennett last had contact with family or friends on Wednesday. Bennett's 5'9" with black hair and brown eyes and weighs 253 pounds. She was last seen wearing a black hoodie, blue shorts, and white Nike Air Force One tennis shoes. Report any information about Bennett's whereabouts by calling Blackfeet Law Enforcement Services at the number on your screen, 406-338-4000, or call 911. Meantime, Arkansas State Police say the man suspected of murdering a Prairie Grove couple at Devil's Den State Park was arrested and confessed to the crime. Arkansas officials gathered to announce the arrest in a press conference Thursday evening. Our sister station in Arkansas brings us the details.
We have no reason to believe that there was any known association between our suspect and our victims. There's nothing to indicate that at all. It appears to be a completely random event.
Arkansas State Police revealing new details in a horrific double homicide at Devil's Den State Park. A young family targeted on a hiking trail. 2 parents murdered, their daughters left behind. And now a suspect under arrest. Andrew McGann's DNA allegedly recovered from the crime scene.
His injuries resulted in blood loss. And it was that blood loss that allowed us to establish a DNA profile to begin with. And it was that DNA profile that was matched today against our suspect.
Investigators say during questioning, McGann made incriminating statements about stabbing both Clinton and Kristen Brink on the trail.
He did indicate that he had committed the murders. I would call it an admission.
The manhunt that followed the murders was massive, fueled by hundreds of tips. Security footage and photos from businesses nearby helped investigators zero in on one vehicle. What was believed to be a black four-door Mazda was actually a Kia Stinger. The license plate covered up the day of the attack.
He did use tape to conceal some of the things that would help identify his vehicle. But on the other side of that, he was also very sloppy.
Authorities tracked McGann to a barbershop in Springdale, where he was arrested without incident. Back at McGann's Springdale home, a search turned up items seen in an image of the suspect, along with several knives.
We did find items that were consistent with what was seen in that photograph. Was the weapon there? Well, we don't know that it's the weapon, but we did collect some knives from the residence.
Investigators say Kristen Brink took her daughters to safety, then returned back to help her husband, but was also murdered. Colonel Hager reminding the public this is not a TV show.
This is not an episode of CSI. It's not going to be wrapped up in a 1-hour episode.
Nothing about this case is what I would call conventional. It was every agent's worst nightmare.
Officials announce a new fire start burning 7 miles northeast of Hot Springs. It is 600 acres in size. The Buddha fire was caused by recent lightning strikes in the area. The Division of Fire, Overhead, Polson Rural, and 2 dozers are on scene working to contain the flames. There are currently no closures or evacuations in place. We'll continue to follow this fire and bring you the latest on area and online. Crews are also continuing to battle a fire located 2 miles north of Lincoln. The Sucker Creek fire remains at 55 acres, but is now 70% contained. The lightning-caused fire was first spotted on July 27th. There are currently 3 engines and 1 Type 2 hand crew on scene. Officials say control lines are secure and crews are continuing mop-up efforts. There are no evacuations at this time. However, portions of Sucker Creek remain closed at this time.
Tonight, more rain is in the forecast as instability continues in western Montana. Lows are expected to make it down into the 40s and 50s for most of the region, but things could be quite a bit cooler down there in West Yellowstone. And if you're hoping for a sunny start to your weekend, I've got some bad news for you. Thunderstorms are set to continue across western Montana, but we will start seeing some cooler temperatures pushing into the region into the 70s and 80s. And that soggy trend is set to continue through Sunday, with cooler temperatures remaining firmly in place at least through the next few days. But a drier period is getting ready to build in. And coming up here in just a few minutes, I'll be letting you know when we might see some sunny skies.
In case you missed it, in Butte, time is running out for developers to apply for major grants to renovate historic buildings. Butte Silverbow received $750,000 in federal funding from the National Park Service. Officials say the county plans to use the money to disperse to a handful of property owners in the mining city. Letters of intent are due by the end of the work week, and officials say they are looking for projects to spruce up underutilized historic buildings, potentially for housing. However, the building must be listed as contributing to the National Historic Landmark District to be eligible.
Mainly focusing on, buildings in Uptown Butte, commercial income-producing buildings that are currently not producing as much income as they could be.
Letters of intent need to be about 2 pages long and include pictures and a rough budget. For more information, visit our homepage at NBCMontana.com. And stay with us right here on NBC Montana as we continue covering the search for the Anaconda mass shooting suspect. NBC Montana's Josh Margolis will be live on scene with the latest. Plus,
tariff rates on almost every country on earth have been set. Now what? I'm Atrell Nashar with where Trump's trade war goes from here as higher import taxes will start to set in.
Luxury cars like this, all over the country, bought in Montana, cruising around with Montana plates. So what's the problem? Wednesday at 10, NBC Montana is working for you, investigating the pros